Welcome to Kazakhstan and its capital city, Astana. It's a city on the up, which this year has the honour of hosting the most prestigious event on the International Judo Federation's World Tour, the World Championships. The Alao Ice Palace would be the venue for this 7-day judo showpiece. This is the last World Championships before the Rio Olympic Games next year, and as such, the media spotlight cast on Astana was intense. It was the perfect moment for IJF President Mr. Marius Vizar to open a spectacular gala dinner to honour past judo heroes by inducting them into the coveted Hall of Fame. The official draw, held on the eve of the tournament, was the subject of much interest, as judo's top names were drawn to fight each other across 7 male and 7 female weight categories. In this first episode, our focus is the men's event. We will follow the journey of Norway's Martin Thiblin to have an insight into what it's like competing at a top-level judo tournament. We feature the 2 competing British judoka, Colin Oates and Ben Fletcher. And we will feature highlights from 6 of the 7 male weight categories. The heaviest weight of plus 100 kilograms will feature in the final episode, as France's Teddy Riner attempts to break the judo world record and become an 8-time world champion. A spectacular opening ceremony got the World Championships off to a bang. And as it came to a close, all eyes shifted to the tatami. We start with GB's Colin Oates, who placed 7th at the London Olympics and was competing in the under 66 kilograms category.
I initially started when I was younger and I was 5, and my brother went along to judo and I followed him along with his friend, and we started from there. My dad had done a little bit before that we didn't know about, and he was quite keen for us to do it. What I've got from it is that I think it's given me a good balance in life, and I'm a competitive person. Judo is a hugely competitive sport. We don't have the money that other sports have, so people say, oh, boxing's tough. Boxing's tough, but if you're a good boxer, you become a millionaire. If you're a good judo player, you don't get those kind of rewards. You just have to do it for the love of the sport, and anybody can be involved in judo. You can be tall and big to play like rugby or basketball. In judo, you can be whatever size, any way, and it's one of the most healthiest sports you can do in the world. For such a physically intense sport, it's not like some of the other sports where they have a lot of matches where they're slagging each other off and criticising each other and go. This doesn't really happen in judo. In judo, it's more like respect for each other. It's a friendly atmosphere until you hit the mat where you want to win, and that's what we're all about.
Oates' first contest was against Kamal Amanov of Turkmenistan. Your commentator is former British world champion Neil Adams.
Colin Oates looking very confident. First match then in this World Championships. Always a little bit nervy, first match. But Oates has good standing work, good throws and good groundwork. Now what's he going to go for? He's got a good turnover into a hold down here. If he holds his opponent down, he's got to hold him for 20 seconds. Now he's just got to get a little bit of leverage, readjust his balance, which he is doing. And you can see there that Amanov really struggling to get off his back. Now it's the hold down, and the seconds are ticking up. And he gets the ippon, holds him for 20 seconds, and JP Bell there, very happy indeed.
His next contest was against Slovenia's Andras Jereb. Oates was the more aggressive of the 2 fighters and put in more attacks. Although there were no scores from techniques, Oates' more positive approach meant that he won the fight on penalties. With 2 minutes left and Oates in a controlling position, Jereb dropped to his knees in a defensive manner. In judo, this is more often than not going to lead to a penalty to the passive fighter. Ultimately, this penalty was crucial. With less than a minute to go and Oates ahead, he once again demonstrated his attacking intent by pinning Jereb. The pin wasn't on long enough to score any points, but it was certainly enough to justify the British fighter as the winner. Oates was into the last 16 of the World Championships. There, he met Kazakhstan's Yildiz Sumakhanov, who had the backing of his home crowd.
Judo, you have two styles. You know, like in boxing, you have southpaws, you know, left boxers, right boxers. Similar in judo, right-handed, left-handed. When he's trying to attack me, he's attacked me right-handed, which I'm quite good at defending. And then the next exchange, he switched, which is really rare in boxing. You don't get someone who can switch sides, but in judo it can happen quite a lot. And so he's kind of switched to the other direction, and that's where I've not been as aware that he was going to turn that direction. So that's what's caught me out.
Oh, Siatoshi, drop shoulder throw, and that is all over for Oates. And it just goes to show how cutthroat this game is.
The first exchange he's turned this way, and then dropped through. The second exchange he's turned the other direction. So yeah, so he's done something. It's clever, but it's frustrating that I get caught out with something like that. The big bonus from the day is it's 108 qualifying points, 108 world ranking points. So, you know, the two wins are quite important. It means I now have, I think, 570 qualifying points, and we've kind of looked at to qualify a target of around 600 to qualify you. So with about 20 events to go, you know, there's still a lot of qualifying events left.
In Oates' weight category of under 66 kilograms, the silver medalist from last year's World Championships, Pelayev of Russia, had once again made it to the final, and in spectacular fashion. But South Korea's An prevented him from going one better, as he out-attacked the Russian in the final and won the fight by a penalty in golden score. Pelayev would once again have to settle for second place, as An brought home the gold medal for South Korea. At the middleweight of under 81 kilograms, it was judo's motherland country, Japan, whose national anthem played out to the Alao Ice Palace. Their fighter at the weight, Nagase, was too strong and too focused throughout the day for anyone to cause him any real problems. In the final, France's 2013 world champion Pietri was unable to resist the power and skill of Nagase in groundwork. By prizing out Pietri's arm, Nagase took control of his opponent's body, turning on top of Pietri and pinning him on his back for the 20 seconds that score Ippon. It was game over for Pietri, who this time would have to console himself with a World Championship silver medal. Delight for Nagase, and for Japan. Up one weight at under 90 kilograms, and the pendulum swung back to South Korea. Gwak had been using his drop shoulder throw, Seoinage, all day, and once again used it to devastating effect in the final, as he threw Russia's Denisov for a Wazari score. It was enough to secure South Korea their second and final gold medal of the championships. Norway had only sent one athlete to Astana, 35-year-old Martin Thiblin, who had travelled to the World Championships with his wife and daughter.
I was drawn to judo because I had talent for it, so I did well quite early. And I was able to go to a lot of international competitions and training camps also very early. That football for instance, didn't allow me, so it was a lot of experience. And also I like to be like alone on the mat. It's only you and your opponent, and if you do bad, it's only your fault. If you do well, it's only your achievement. So that's one of the things that attracts me to judo. My aim is to go to the Olympic Games. That will be my last competition. My wife is a very good coach, so she's actually my coach as well. To go to the Olympic Games, you have to travel a lot. So I didn't want to leave my family at home so much. I want to know my daughter, so I would like to have her with me.
I think it's a very good sport for kids. She loves to play, and I can give her instructions while playing. And she loves to do everything on the mat that she sees all the grown-ups do.
I think it's of course her choice, but for me it would be nice if she choose judo, of course. But she has to choose herself.
After all the preparation, today is the day Thiblin will compete in the light middleweight category of under 73 kilograms.
Right now I'm a little bit nervous. I'm always nervous in the morning when I fight. So, but it will get better when I get warmed up.
Yeah, we think about that.
I will be ready. So
If the matches don't
I have
go
a very
fast,
clear goal of what I want to do today. So after the warm up, I will be ready.
Thank you. Vänta, Sabrina.
We are following Martin Thiblin. At age 35, he is the only Norwegian athlete competing at the World Judo Championships in Astana, Kazakhstan. Thiblin arrives at the stadium with his wife, child and training partner 2 hours before he is due to compete. This gives him time to slowly prepare himself mentally. Like a number of other judoka, Thiblin likes to get himself into a deep level of relaxation in his mind before it's time to start getting his body warm and ready for competition. Thiblin, like most others, practices uchi-komi, which prepares the body to throw. Then it's the walk to the competitive arena and into the holding area. Now it's just about controlling the nerves and focusing the final thoughts on the game plan.
Well, all the work that both of these fighters have put in to get this far, World Championships, and now it's on the line. Timlin in white. Both fighters fighting hard for the dominant grip. Oh, slight sacrifice! Now he's gone over. They've given a Wazari, but I thought, well, he landed with impetus and with force onto his back. Are they going to change it? Have a look how he goes over, and he does land hard, and he gets the ippon. All the work that these two have put in, and in just 16 seconds, Timlin is absolutely devastated, and he's out. So a good technique against Timlin, and this is how it started there. He drove with his head and with his legs and with his body, and Timlin went just onto his back with force. If you roll onto your shoulders, it's a Wazari. If you land with force on both of your shoulders, it's an ippon, and that's why it was changed. And Timlin, absolutely devastated. He can't believe it, and he has to go home now and start again.
I feel embarrassed, actually. Yeah, because I work so hard and a lot of people support me, and after 10 seconds I just... difficult to explain. Yeah, empty. And it's mixed because now it's difficult because I'm very disappointed, and that's okay. And I weren't even able to show what I can do. I'm much stronger than this. I can beat this guy. So I can show her that I'm disappointed, but at the same time, it's mixed. It's a difficult combination. So. Yeah.
In 2 days, we have to start the training again to prepare for the next competition. She's just starting to learn about feelings, being sad and being angry and being happy, and she doesn't like it when people get sad. So we have to tell her that it's okay to be sad, but you can be sad for a while, and then you have to keep on going.
I'm very sad. I don't really want to face the world, and when I see her, of course, I have to pull myself together. I can't. So it helps a lot, and she's happy.
You're always happy.
You're always happy when you're not mad.
The standout performer in Thiblin's weight category of under 73 kilograms was Japan's Ohno, the 2013 World Champion. Ohno produced one stunning technique after another as he came up with 4 ippons in 5 contests en route to the final. The most dazzling was a gigantic Osoto gari, an outer reap of the opponent's leg, against Fernandez of Portugal. Last year, Ohno had dramatically crashed out of the World Championships early. In his absence, his fellow countryman Nakaya took his 2nd world title, and it was Nakaya standing in his way here. Would Nakaya make it a hat-trick, or would Ohno become a double world champion?
Well, Ohno so badly wants his world title back. Pushing forwards, piling the pressure on Nakaya. And look at that, Osoto, Kosoto, what a time to do it! Brilliant stuff against somebody of Nakaya's stature as well. Osoto Gari follows it through with a Kosoto and drives Nakaya back. He is a Wazari up. Nakaya now coming forwards, 4 seconds left. The world title is slipping away and Ohno regains his title. It was Nakaya who took it last year. Ohno has come back and he's done it in style. Osoto, Kosoto, drives him back and he says, I am the #1 in Japan and this time next year he's going to need this win. It could mean the difference between going to the Olympic Games and not. But after today, well, this was a magical performance. Wow! Ohno back to his very best.
GB's only other male judoka in Astana was Ben Fletcher in the under 100 kilograms category. Fletcher won his first 2 contests, but unfortunately lost his 3rd and was out of the competition.
My first fight, I had Jorgensen from Denmark. He's a good player. He's an awkward left-hander. He'll go forward like with his hips, and then when you try and block that, he'll go the other way with Sumigashi. So he's a difficult person to fight. But I managed to catch him with a ride and roll for a Yuko, and then managed to hold that off. The second fight, I had the 2007 World Champion Luciano Correa from Brazil. I won in just 1 Shido. Managed to pin his sleeve quite well and keep the attacking rate high, which is something I've been working on. My third fight was with Prix from Germany, which I lost on a few scores, but I think I fought the fight quite well. Love to go to Rio. Qualifications looking good at the moment, but I don't want to count my chickens at the moment. I'm just going to keep training hard, do the right things, and then go from there. One tournament to the next, and then that's all I can do, really.
Prix then made it to the semi-final, where he produced a moment of magic against Kapalek, the defending world champion.
Well, Kapalek really struggling here for form. Osoto Gari, oh, he overreached with the Osoto Gari, and Carl Richard Prix absolutely buries him with the Uranagi. He overstretched completely Kapalek. He was looking for the Osoto to get the score, and Prix is into the final. That was truly amazing. Kapalek made a mistake, overstretched, and look at the Tewaza as well from Prix. He just directs him exactly where he wants him, and he places him onto his back. Look at that reaction, it says it all.
In the final, Prix would meet Japan's Haga, who had scored with a couple of textbook Uchimatas in the preliminaries. Uchimata is perhaps the most favoured technique of the Japanese heavyweights, and is considered one of the most classical judo throws. In the final, Haga attempted Uchimata on Prix, but the German escaped gymnastically and prevented himself from landing on his back. However, Haga's superior attacks enabled him to win on penalties and claim Japan's third gold medal in the male weights. In the lightest male weight of under 60 kilograms, Kazakhstan managed to get both their fighters to the semi-finals. Ibreev was up against defending world champion Ganbat of Mongolia in one semi-final, at the same time as Smetov faced up against Japan's Shishime in the other. If both fighters made it through to the final, the home nation would have a guaranteed world champion. Could they pull it off?
Well, Smetov pushing forward, looking for the Yoko Satemi. Ah, there it is, Yoko Otoshi! And he scores the Yuko, and Shishime now has got to climb a mountain. Look at that drive he gets there off the leg. Brilliant stuff there from Smetov. And we've just heard that on the other side, Ganbat here losing against Ibreev. Ibreev pushing forward. This is where he scores a Yuko, so he's ahead in his semi-final. Could it possibly be an all-Kazakh final? This was the Sumagaeshi that scored, and Ganbat's in trouble. Shishime now, he's trying to get up, but can he get up? Smetov just holds off. He's through to the final. Can Ibreev make it too? The crowd celebrate, as they should. Look how delighted he looks. And this is it, Ganbat coming forwards. Ibreev just holds off. And it's an all-Kazakh final in the under 60 kilograms. And that is remarkable. Everybody celebrates. The coaches celebrate. The fighters celebrate. And that is amazing. You couldn't have written that down at the beginning of the day. So look, Ibreev comes off. The coaches celebrate. The fighters celebrate. They have a guaranteed gold and silver medal in the under 60 kilograms. What a moment for Kazakh judo.
The final itself was decided by the narrowest of margins. Just one penalty separating Smetov and Ibreev, as ultimately it was Smetov who would take the gold. However, it was clearly a victory for both fighters to have ensured a Kazakh 1 and 2 on the opening day of their World Championships in Astana. Smetov was able to salute his anthem, this time as world champion. A moment he will never forget. Well, that's goodbye for now. What a great start to the World Championships. Join us next for the women's competition with all the best highlights. We will also feature judo from the Democratic People's Republic of Korea. And of course, we will focus on Team GB, with 6 female judoka competing, including the 2012 Olympic silver medalist, Gemma Gibbons.